Who is this? It is good to see you. Happy Sunday. You ain't never lied. What's up, Hershey? Ooh, Hershey. Hershey. My God. Ooh, y'all, this sun is all up in my eyes. What's up, pretty mama? How you all doing today? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, Lord, so much is going on. So, can anybody tell me, why is Sir King mad at YouTube cameras? I'm like, okay, so I heard she's mad at him, but then he's mad at her. I heard a little bit of his diatribe because, he's the originator, boy. He's been in the V sector since the beginning. He was Avatar Nation way at the beginning of his inception. I just laugh at these people. They're something else. But so what's up with that? I guess she got a little upset because he said something about her, and now he's saying that she has favorites, and I'm like, it sounds like you're a little kid, but I just thought it was funny. I see you was reading last night. Who was reading? I wasn't reading last night. No, I wasn't reading last night, baby. Hershey, not me, not me. Oh, I wasn't reading last night. I saw some things last night, but I wasn't reading last night. I don't think I was. I don't think I was. What's up, just Sheila? Hey, Chet. So nobody don't know what happened with Sir King and YouTube cameras. They sound like they just right. Oh, Sir King was sounding in his feelings. He said, I'm petty. I'm petty." So he was telling everybody he was petty. And then I just have to leave because all of that mush mouth talk get me. I can't do all of that mush mouth. You too, camera. And you say it. I can't deal with all of that. It's a talk. So I had to leave. I can only listen to so much, and then I go. I, I can only listen to so much, and then I gotta move on out. And then he started mushy and getting mushy. And I'm like, okay, it's time to go. Yeah. But why is he mad at her? Or why is she mad at him? Why are they mad at each other? Let me see what y'all saying. Wonder if Big Brian invited to Nestcation. Well, I heard it's a up and stuck. I heard it's a no. That's what I heard. It's a definitely no. I heard you. And that's what was funny to me because everybody talking about some Jay Wilson had you sleep on that, but nobody ain't invited him back to that station. It's just a game. It's just commentary. I'm honest about mine. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make a coin. I'm real. I'm going to make a coin. There's no qualms about it. It is what it is, right? But these people try to act like they're so noble and, oh, we are really looking and seeking friendship. No, you're not. You're seeking a storyline. So it is what it is. But no, I heard it's up and stuff. I heard that he is uninvited, and I tried to invite him to Virginia, but it seems like he thought it was shade. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm good with it. I just won't go over there anymore. You only have one time with me when it comes to me going on your platform. After that, boom, I'm out. I heard there's a lot of mad situations going on. I don't know why. You know, like I said, I'm not mad at anyone. Um, Yeah, I'm not. I just read the room and I move on. That's all you got. That's all you can do. I know. That's what got me. No matter what I said, it was shame. It was shame. Baby, that's a real hurt. That's a real hurt in your life when everything somebody says to you is shade. I'm like, that was not shade. But you can't deal with hurt people. And I guess he's really hurt because of the heat and uh, the disinvitation, the being uninvited to Nescation. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't do that to you. This he did that to you. Ness did that to you. You know, what I did helped you understand that your sleeping patterns are pretty dangerous and you need to get it checked. So, yeah, I went down. You know what? I can't even do that. I can't even do that. I'm being honest. I can't even do that. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't even do that. I know y'all can't. I can't. I have to leave that side patch big man thing alone. I can't. I can't do it. Oh, but there's something else brewing. I'm waiting for everybody to get here because I'm gonna talk about it. Ooh, I'm gonna talk about it. Okay, Seattle's supposed to be full of uppity, arrogant people. Okay, I'd rather go to Virginia than settle Seattle. Oh yeah, yep, 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 yep. Ooh, ooh, Jesus. Hold on, y'all. Is it green? Ooh, Lord. Okay, y'all. I'm on way. The sun is sunning today, baby. When I tell you this sun is sunning today, woo, all up in my face. I had to put down my shades to see the light. My God. But there is something a brewing. And my name was mentioned a great deal, but I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't have nothing to do with that situation and that man. Hold on, let me see what y'all are saying. All it was feeling him, but got embarrassed because, yeah, okay, it is what it is. But let me tell y'all what's going on now. Baby, I done looked at that Thais, or Tyrese, or whatever his name is, the Thai Squad, and Timothy Blaine. Lord have mercy. Honey, the girls are reading, getting read. Okay? I'm like, wow. Wow. So Thais and Timothy Blaine and that I thought they were real cool at one point. But I guess Thais did something that Timothy or Tim didn't like. And baby, it's World War V over there. And honey, I'm giving my life. But Thais, I ignore this man. Thais said that man had about 300 videos about me. I ignore him. That's not a part of my life anymore. I done did that, done that, been there, child. But Thais, ooh, my God. And Tim, they are reading each other. But Thais, Lord have mercy. I didn't know all this, and the reason why I found out, my name just kept being mentioned. My name kept being mentioned, and so Thais is saying, "You crazy because you obsessed with this man. You got 300 videos about this man. Something is not right." Well, Thais, I knew that long time ago, but I don't argue with the man because this man got some problems. So I mean, y'all need to go on over there and look at that battle with Thais and Timothy Blaine, baby. Honey, I was getting my whole life over there. It was funny. It was funny. So they fighting right now. Just trying to figure it out. Thank you. I'm actually growing my beard back, but yeah. So y'all, I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but baby, it is going on. Um, for some reason, I was watching Yolanda, in her what's that thing? Her movable wheelchair, I don't know why, but baby, she was booking it down on that movable wheelchair boo. Yolanda was driving that thing like it was in the Mach 5, baby. Baby, Yolanda was working that scooter down to the Kentucky, baby. She was working it. All right, let me see what y'all say. Tim Blaine Drive Cheese a long time ago advertised the legends and threw shade for Larry Reed. So, I mean, he ain't on me. Again, you gotta participate. I don't participate in that man's foolishness. Baby Miss Yolanda was doing, she was over the speed limit. She was over the speed limit. Okay, I'm like, baby, she was booking it down. I don't know where she was, but all I heard was the clicking and the clatter of that hover around or whatever that thing was. Baby Miss Yolanda was not playing with the girls. Okay, I'm surprised she didn't get a ticket. Baby, hey! She was all in that motor scooter slash wheelchair, whatever it was. Baby, she was maneuvering it, backing it up. Girl, she did old nasty piece of T-turn. Okay, I'm like, okay, Miss Yolanda, we see you. We see you. Baby Miss Yolanda was, maybe she was not playing. She did not come to play. She said, I gotta get where I'm going. Lord, baby, she on that mini scooter, baby, and she's not playing with the girls. Okay, she's not playing with the girls. Get out the way, because Miss Yolanda is, baby, and she was speeding. Baby, that thing got a little speed to it. She was doing. Baby, I was like, okay, Miss Yolanda, we see you. Okay. Oh, all you heard was click, 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 click. Okay, she giving fast and furious over there. Not furious, but furious. So anyway, y'all, but other than that, there's nothing really going on. I don't, all of this other stuff with lemon in his eye and his teeth or his tooth or whatever. I just say I ain't with it. I'm just not with it. Now I will say though, Big Baby got a little mad last night. I don't know, he's frustrated, but somebody said that Ro talked about the sleeping, and he didn't have a problem with Ro. But as soon as I came over, then he had a problem. Hold on for a minute, you all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Him and Ro are still at it. LOL, they should be exhausted by now. Well, this is the thing, though. It seems like he and Ro was at a good place when Ro was mentioning that sleep. And so my thing is, I just came up. I told him I heard about the situation with Wolverine. I'm glad. All of a sudden, everything was shade. Everything was shade. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, whatever. He admitted that he was going to stay away from my platform for 3 to 4 days. I mean, Brian, you just went to sleep. People have done much worse. I mean, you were snoring. It was loud. But the biggest thing is you stopped breathing at one point in time. And you do need to do that. And you need to listen to it so you can really hear how you sound. You need to face that. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And Catherine was right. Nobody was dating you because you went to sleep. Now, I will say this, you do need to check on that weed because that weed is still a carcinogen. It is still items being burnt, and that could have a impact on how you sleep. No, Brian was pretty embarrassed. I mean, like I said, I didn't think it was that big, but it seemed like it was really big. Anyway, I guess he is. You were waiting for me? Thank you. You have a good day. Oh, she was waiting for me with my coffee. She's such a sweet girl. She's such a sweet girl. I don't know why he's ashamed. I mean, but anyway, you can't speak for people. I would have been more ashamed that my window was busted out and the man kept walking. I would have been more ashamed of that than me snoring. You know what I'm saying? We get ashamed of the most. But anyway, you can't tell people what to be ashamed of, I guess. I mean, maybe I would have been more ashamed of a busted window than me snoring and not breathing. He stopped breathing a few times. I hope that he takes. No, he is taking it serious. He is taking it seriously. He is going to see someone for that, and I applaud him. I wish he would look at that weed situation like he's looking at this sleep apnea situation, because again, you still have smoke in your lungs, and that could be a factor. But and then this, because it comes from the earth, so does opium. Cocaine comes from the earth. Is it good for you? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, and I see what he's trying to say, but tobacco comes from the earth as well. So that don't make no sense. But again, it's just an excuse to do that because he may be addicted to it. But I just think that doing these medications and with that sleep apnea, I think he really needs to check that out. Those doctors are not law enforcement. They're just doctors. They're not law enforcement. Well, Trey Day agreed. Trey Day agreed. But you can't tell people what to be ashamed of. Trey Day, you're right. Because he can come up here and tell us that man popped him in the face twice and say it without batting an eye. He can come and tell us that. Uh, yeah, he can come and tell us a whole lot of stuff, but he went to sleep on camera and he embarrassed. Okay, I'll take the sleep any day over being popped in the mouth or getting your windows bust out by two different men. All right, one, anyway, it is what it is. Straight, it is what it is. But you can't tell these folks that. You can't tell them that. My God, today. Woo! No pride. I know it's from the earth. Okay, there's a lot of things from the earth that'll kill you. I agree with you, pretty mama. We really do want this weight loss shot to work. We do. And I mean, like, do you want it to work? Do you want it to work? Because a lot of people will tell you with that sleeve or whatever, that gastric, whatever thing, they will tell you that eventually your stomach will grow back. And I know people who had to get a bypass fat today. So it don't keep you from being fat. It will keep you from, I guess, eating, and then, but you can still go back. So you'll spend a whole lot of money and then be fat again. I'm just saying. I mean, do everything possible before you go that route. I think the shots will work if you make sure that everything is okay. So they're putting it back on Manjaro. Now, I am on trizepatide, which is step bound. So, yeah. So it works. It works. Catherine, I'm down to 215 calories. I weighed myself this morning. Catherine. Yes, Lord. Well, you know that is true. Fair perspective, it is true. But I mean, being popped in the mouth or in the face, and then your windows being busted out. But one thing I can say is he's embarrassed, but he's going to do something about it. He don't need to be embarrassed about being asleep. I'm telling you, Brian, it was more embarrassing that your window was busted out, and it was more embarrassing that that man popped you in your face twice than you snoring. I mean, we just know now that you need to go and get a sleep study done, so you know you'll be okay. So, but from that perspective, I can see your perspective. I can. Rainbow, probably about 180. I want to be 20 pounds under 200. 20 pounds under 200. Yep. So anyway, no need to be ashamed. Y'all, when y'all get a chance, please go watch Timothy Blaine and Thais. Baby, I watched Thais first, and I'm like, ooh, Jesus. Ooh, Jesus. My God. Now, Thais, I don't have no problem with you. You said you don't see it for me. I don't have no problem with you, Thais. I just saw how you did that man and you spilled that man tea about his relationship, and you just was so nonchalant about it, and you was really nasty. And then, I'm like, and I spoke on it. But, that wasn't me. But like I said, I don't have anything against you. I really don't know you. But one thing you do get right is that man has been harassing and bullying me. He's been harassing and bullying me, and it's without cause. He really don't like me, Thais, because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I remind him of what he could have been. I don't know. Maybe he wanted a house so he could put all of that Harry Potter furniture in. I don't know. But it's something really wrong there. And yeah, you're right. It's about 400 or 500 videos, Thais. Maybe it's videos you don't even know about. So I don't know. It's creepy. It's obsessive. But he did the same thing to the bodybuilder man. What's that man name who used to bodybuild from Atlanta? He did the same thing to him too, Lord. Ooh, he was obsessed with that man. I'm like, do you like that man? Because I mean, every video used to be on that man. And I mean, he latched on to a black man, and baby, he will not let go. Y'all remember that man? What's that man name who used to do the weightlifting? And he came on, and I think his partner just recently passed away. Ooh, he bothered that man. He bothered that man. He bothered that man, and he bothered that man. And I'm like, damn, could you please? Walter Hampton. That's his name, Walter Hampton. Boy, it's like, are you obsessed with Walter? Do you want to date Walter? I'm like, could you leave that man alone? Oh my God. He was so obsessed with Walter Hampton. I'm like, okay. I'm like, could you leave that man alone? Anyway, so Thais, yeah, my 500 videos, but I ignore them because the man got problems. Thais said that he's in his last days. He should be trying to enjoy his last days. Baby, I'm like, ooh, that was so, ooh. Maybe you just listen to that and it's like, ooh, Jesus. I just said, oh my God. And then Timothy came back on saying that Thais was in front of a hooker drug hotel begging for money. Girl, it's just a lot going on. It's like a lot going on. So Tim said you was lie roasting him, Thais. That you lie roasted him. My God, today. So maybe my name was mentioned a couple of times. I ignore that man. That man's crazy. He got issues. He got bitterness issues. Not bitterness issues, but bitterness issues. So I don't even engage that crazy man. But baby, it was good, baby. I got my whole life, honey. I was calculating. When I tell you That baby. Tim will make a video. Thais make a video. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And they were so cool. They were so cool at once. Then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. But it don't take long for some people because they fragile anyhow. So it is what it is. Oh my God, it was funny though. Oh my God, I was looking at it. And I was like, yeah, my God, today. But Thais, baby, he messed with Walter. I swore that he wanted to be Walter Hampton's next man. Ooh, he was all in. Oh my God. I'm like, well, Tim, do you want to be with that man? I mean, because everything was Walter Hampton, Walter Hampton, Walter Hampton this, Walter Hampton this, Walter Hampton this. I'm like, damn. I'm like, could you please leave that man alone? I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. It was bad. It was obsessive bad. Little Bow Wow working at Walmart. Okay. Well, working honest. Let me tell y'all something. Those people don't make that much money. You know, a lot of people think those rap stars making money. Y'all don't understand that that record company recoups a lot of their money, and you can get that from TLC. If you get in a bad record deal, you know, yeah. If you didn't manage your money right, yeah. How many stars who were on television shows are now working? Carl Payne, you know, on Martin and on the Cosby Show, I think was working at a car dealership at one point in time. I mean, you still got to pay bills just because you a star. That don't mean, you know, yeah. So yeah, Bow Wow. Well, at least he working at Walmart. At least he ain't selling. Let me stop. Let me stop. Yeah, you know, y'all don't understand that music industry is just modern day slavery. And they, I mean, they did Tweet wrong. Tweet wanted to do her music. They wanted to do something else. They shelved Tweet's music. That's why she went out. And you realize that I don't like singing anymore because these people make it unenjoyable. I mean, why y'all think Gladys Knight is working? Child, and that Gladys Knight thing got me in my spirit. I hope that man ain't doing no elder abuse because you know, yeah, that Gladys Knight thing is, ooh, that's heavy. Because at the end of the day, you know, you if people don't have their masters, then they're at the mercy of the record company. And I don't think a lot of people know that. This is why I give a shout out to Ray Charles and James Brown because they owned their masters. So their money came to them. This is why Michael Jackson was hated because not only he owned the whole Beatles catalog, and Sony wasn't trying to hear that. He had too much power. That's another thing. He had too much power. So again, this is why I will give Oprah her props because Oprah learned that to be the owner is the power. Because unlike Joy Reid, you still work for MSNBC and they can let you go at any time. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that in the industry, especially in the music industry. These people get all of these homes and all of that stuff. And for the most part, it's the company's home because you don't get anything until you pay for it. Shout out to Taylor Swift to redo all of her stuff. Now, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I do admire her business savvy. I do admire because she's going to get all her money. Why y'all think Candy Spelling sold that big old house? Candy Spelling, that house was huge. but her husband ain't making TV shows no more. He dead. So Candy like, let me sell this because baby, she would have been burning through cash. So again, I mean, Bow Wow made some stuff, but it ain't, it ain't enough. And then, yeah, so I ain't mad that he working at Walmart. So, you know, yeah, he could have been doing something much worse. So Walmart is not the worst that he could do. And I'm being real. Walmart is not the worst he could do. It could have been worse. As long as he making his money, it is what it is, y'all. I ain't trying to be funny, but yeah. But this is why I tell y'all too. This is why education is so important because if Bow Wow had a bachelor's degree or if Bow Wow had a master's degree, Bow Wow could have been a professor. Bow Wow could have been teaching somewhere. Bow Wow could have been. So look at the lady who played Blossom. Baby, let me tell you something. Whether she got kicked off for Jeopardy or not, Homegirl got a PhD. Homegirl could teach at any school she wanted to. She can teach either in the sciences or she could teach acting because of her acting chops on Third Rock and Blossom and Jeopardy. She can go to any performing arts school and get paid. Or because of her celebrity, she can go and teach at any school. So this is why education ain't that important. Well, if Bow Wow had one, I guarantee you he would have been working somewhere else. Y'all downplay education. Education is more than just a job. Don't get me wrong. But why do you think Shaq went? Can I say this? Now, Shaq has a lot of advertisements and so on and so forth. But Dr. Shaquille O'Neal can work anywhere he wants to. If Shaq wanted to work at a university, he could. He could. His notoriety is one thing, but his education is another thing. And just because you are a famous person does not mean you're going to go teach somewhere. And I don't think people get that. Mm-hmm. Of course. You always trying to tell somebody to go college. You always trying to tell somebody to go college. Well, college doesn't always get you a job. And I'm the first to say that. But let me say this. College allows you options. Allows you options. It amazes me when people say, "Oh, you always unemployed." Baby, you don't know what I do. But I will say this, and I can't speak for anybody else. I can speak only for me. My college education has opened doors that would not have been open if I did not have it. Now, I cannot speak for everyone else. I am just speaking for me. I am just speaking for me. My college education makes sure that I don't work a job less than 65K a year. And that ain't that much. That ain't that much. I mean, but there is a limit. There is certain jobs that I'm not going to work for and do. Now, don't get me wrong. If it comes push to shove and I got to pay the bills, oh, we going to do what we got to do. But professionally, no way. And see, y'all don't understand either that they are always looking at those last 3 years that you worked for your Social Security. And baby, I want them to be high. And I just think it's funny. I just really think it's funny. There are people who are entrepreneurs, and that's really good. I'm not so much the entrepreneurial type. I think I would do well, but I'm the type that will always have an income stream. I am the type that, okay, if I lose this, I got something else. And I think when you stop being a lifelong learner, you die. Now, I told y'all I'm planning something at the end of the year that I'm getting ready to do. And it's going to set me up very well when I complete it. And when I'm ready to retire, which I'm never going to technically retire, but when I plan to retire, I could do this and still go on vacation, but still have a job. And you always got to be thinking ahead. You always got to be thinking ahead. The reason why I'm not retiring is because you got to have purpose. You have to have a next act. You have to have always something to do. You know? So that's my thing. So as long as I can see, walk, do what I need to do, I will be working. Not because I have to, it's because I have purpose. Now, most of the people that I've seen who retire and didn't do nothing wind up dying in 3 months. I don't want that to be me. And that's what I'm going to do. But I mean, so Bow Wow, mm, I just, Bow Wow's in Atlanta. And sometimes you all, I think location is everything. Let me tell y'all something. Location is everything. Now, a lot of people will disagree with me, and you can disagree. Sometimes you need to go to places that's going to be beneficial for you. When I was leaving Ohio, the reason why I left Cincinnati is because if I would ever lose my job in Cincinnati, could I get hired quickly? Cincinnati is racist. Even though Procter and Gamble and Kale Brand, which is Jergens it was headquartered in Cincinnati. Jergens lotion. They have a lot of headquarters. Macy's is headquartered in Cincinnati. Kroger is headquartered in Cincinnati. Luxottica, which is the glasses, all of the glasses, they're headquartered in Cincinnati. So, there's a lot of places that are headquartered in Cincinnati. But black people don't get those jobs. Cincinnati is and I'm like, mm-mm. So when I was thinking, I said, I'm not going to Atlanta because everybody got a PhD in Atlanta. Chicago, I don't want to go back there again. So I was really thinking, where would I go? Where would I go? I was thinking about Houston because Houston reminded me of Atlanta, but it was established. But God didn't see it that way. I got transferred. I transferred to San Antonio. And the reason why I stayed in San Antonio is because it was a town and country feel. And even though there are a lot of educational institutions in San Antonio is a working class city. It's very blue collar for the most part. Um, it's changing, but when I moved, it was very blue collar. And for me having a terminal degree coming here, it was gold. And between San Antonio and Austin, oh my God, it was gold. So I'm glad I did not move to Houston and I stayed in San Antonio. So what I'm saying is sometimes you got to move to places where there's not that much competition. And so a lot of people will move to San Antonio and then launch to somewhere else. So they'll make their name in San Antonio and then they'll go to a New York or then they'll go to an LA. And I always find out that, I think it's like the newscasters. It's always good to start in a medium market and then when you are established, move to a larger market. But right now, San Antonio is very inexpensive compared to most Texas cities. But yeah, so Bow Wow is at the Walmart. Wow, okay. And a lot of people gonna have something to say, but if that man is working, you know, yeah. And let me tell y'all something. I don't know, but if Bow Wow is a good employee, he'll move up in that company. I mean, he'll move up in the company. Sometimes your notoriety is a good thing if you let it. Let me tell you something. I don't know. I don't know Bow Wow's situation, but if I was Bow Wow, I would work at that Walmart for a good 1-2 years, and then I would write a book on the industry, and I would write a book on how I fell from grace or whatever you want to do, and then I would start doing public speaking. If I was Bow Wow, I would be taking classes from the University of the People. No joke. I would get that degree, and I would, there, you got to turn lemons into lemonade. When life hands you lemons, baby, you make lemonade. You hear me? I mean, just because you were there, now it's another act. What can I do? And if I were Bow Wow, I would really try to help people going into the industry, help them get good contracts. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things Bow Wow could do. I think Bow Wow working at Walmart is good because he has a story to tell, and I would turn my pain into power. You got to turn your pain into power. And I guess that's why I'm on these YouTube streets because, yes, y'all know I was doxxed. And people like, well, Jay, why ain't you leave? I'm not going to leave because that's people who are weak trying to push you out. If I leave YouTube, it's going to be because I wanted to leave, not because somebody pushed me out. But did I sit there and cry because they did that? No. No. First of all, I raised $3,000. Thank you, Jesus. And I had another contact and transferred right on to another place. And the sad part about it is the people were elated because it happened, but was pissed off because I got $3,000 and then was pissed off because I had another job. See, people are not happy with themselves. And this is why I don't let folk get to me because they're not happy with themselves. I come on YouTube to make a coin. YouTube to me is a job. It is easy. You do it, you click off, you put your commercials in, and you move on. It's just that simple. Now, all of this friendship stuff, don't need none, got enough already. I'm not looking for that. I look at everybody like a subcontractor. We 1099. Now they want you gone from your church. It's a bitsy. Like I said, when you know what you know, you don't have to worry about it. And see, the thing is, and this is the problem with Brian and some more people, they think they have to tell people to prove something. I don't have nothing to prove to these people. I have nothing to prove to these people. But I know. And baby, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Do you know that those people were calling that church long before I left? And them church people like, you don't have nothing to do with that. I know these people. I know the board chair. I know the pastor. I was friends with these people before I even became a musician or a member. I knew them before. So, again, I let people take what they want to take. However, all I can say is that I'm blessed. There's no lack. There is abundance. I don't need to go into detail about what I'm doing or what's going on. I let people just do what they got to do. And that's all. And that's the truth. So, but baby, I'm gonna let these people do what they gotta do. They rush to sit in a church instead of trying to have someone else removed. Yeah, it's giving obsessed. You live rent free in these folks. I think I do. You can't hold an educated person down. You can't take away what they have. And as long as you have your health and strong will, can't nobody stop you. Dark Empress, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Let me tell you something. Now, I don't have an issue with King Roman. I don't. I really don't. But King Roman, as much as they hate him, long as King Roman has the mindset that he has, and as long as King Roman has that education, you can hate on him till the day is long. Because just as sure as he had to resign, according to him, from that job, he got another one, or he was creative enough to make something for himself, period. And we despise education over here in the beef sector. I don't know why. Now, education don't make me better than anybody else. It doesn't. But it definitely offers options. And we need to really be pushing, especially in this day and age of Trump. You better get your education because you don't know when you're going to get laid off. You don't know if you're going to have a job. There are people right now who thought their jobs were untouchable. And at the end of the day, they're not at their job. Nothing is forever. Let me tell you something. You can say whatever you want about King Roman News. You cannot take his education away from him. You cannot take his college experience away from him. You can't do none of that. You can't take it. Baby, you can't take it. And, it's really funny. You got all them degrees, but the degrees was for my betterment. It was for you. It was for me. And when people say stuff like that, already it screams jealousy. It screams insecurity. It does. It does. And just because you get the degree, the learning doesn't stop. If you are not a lifelong learner, then you're stunned. So you can either have a progressive mindset or a fixed mindset. And I have a progressive mindset. I have a progressive mindset. And again, you all, and I'm being very honest with you, I'm very, very candid today. What people say about me doesn't affect me. First of all, you better be concerned with what God thinks about you than these people. Number one. As I always say, these people didn't take no nails in their hands. This is the Christian concept. They didn't get no piercings in their side. Blood didn't come running down. They didn't get no crown of thorns. They didn't get beat all night long. And they daggone sure well they get up on the third day. So all I can say is they're not your Messiah. You keep on moving. You better know who you are. You better like yourself. And that's not egotistical. That's just healthy. Because a lot of these people really have major issues and inner turmoils within themselves, and they try to project that junk onto you. A lot of people have control issues because they didn't have control in their life. Yeah, I'm confused why you are praising someone that. Let me say this. I don't care about what they do. I'm just telling you all you can't take that away from the person. And I ain't taking nobody's achievements away. So you don't have to be confused by that. And what that man says about me has no bearings on me because what he has said about me has not stopped my progress. What he has said about me doesn't stop my bag. And see, that's the problem with you all. You all let these people really get into, baby, we 1099. And when I tell you, user, that we subcontractors, we subcontractors. I don't care what that man say. I mean, I wonder, I just wonder about some of the subbies. Because I usually tell people, okay, they talking about me. Okay, so what did it make you feel bad? And why is it making you feel bad? And I don't care if that man like me or not. Let me say this. I know people who have PhDs and they may not care for me, but I can't take their accomplishments away. See, what you all try to do is tear down folk who don't like you, but at the end of the day, that's their achievement. And I don't have to knock that man's achievement because he don't like me. So what? I don't know. Maybe I have evolved to say, you know what? You know, this person may be this, and the third, but it is what it is. I don't have that. I don't know. I'm not insecure with who I am. I don't know that man in real life. He don't know me in real life. All we do is know each other on YouTube. And that's it. And if I really get all into that about that man, then that says that, okay, maybe you take this a little too seriously. Have y'all ever thought of it like that? Because I always say, I don't know these people. It's no need for me to be getting upset and all of this and this and the third. And for what? Because again, how he feels about me, what he said about me, has not stopped anything whatsoever in my personal life in achieving what I want to. This is YouTube stuff. No, it's many people. It's many people, I guess. But I just bring him up because at the end of the day, I think people think I really hate him, which I don't. And I guess that's the example. I'm sure there are many more. I'm sure there are many more. I'm sure there are many more. Baby, I don't look. I know I'm sarcastic. I'm definitely what they say, Jay. You are an ESTJ on the Myers Briggs. You are ESTJ, and I'm a 8 on the Enneagram, which is a challenger. So I'm wired different, baby. I'm gonna make you cry before you make me cry, baby. I don't have a problem with conflict. Okay, I don't, and so that's my personality. And I know them blind spots. And again, it's good to have mentors, people who will tell you your blind spots. I don't believe in constructive criticism because I don't think criticism can ever be constructive. I do believe in constructive feedback, and I think that I'm glad that I have people in my life that can see blind spots. And I mean, yeah. And that's why when I get to a place, I move up quickly. I find those mentors. Who's the person who has all the answers? When you get a team, get people who are smarter than you or have expertise in something. Never hire below you because then that means you got a problem. Anytime you want people around you that, you should have friends of all persuasions. But when it comes to a business, maybe you want people who are on it. So that's how I am. And let me say this, you all. When people are calling churches and stuff, Baby, that don't reflect on me. It reflects on them. And it goes to show you that you are pressed in your spirit that you would have to do something like that. And that's the thing. I look at that person as you really pressed. You are really hurt. You are really in your spirit. And I laugh at it because I'm like, golly, I didn't know I influenced you that much that you would have to do that. But that's me. That's me. I don't really take these folks seriously. Baby, I just took that Myers Briggs. Okay. I just took Myers Briggs. I am an extrovert. My number is 62. So I'm really close to the middle. So I'm on the border of introvert, extrovert. I'm right in the middle. But when it comes to sensing, I am a 99. I got to have data. I got to have data. I got to have data. When it comes to thinking, I'm a 94. I got to have data. And when it comes to judging, and judging is not judging people, judging is, being fair across the board, how you do things. I'm a 94. So I am far to the left when it comes to the other ones. And let me say this. I truly believe that before that, I was probably on the other spectrum of intuition and stuff, because growing up in church, it's a thing about faith. It's about faith. It's about faith. It's about faith. Never about data. All about faith. All about faith. And trust me, I believe that miracles happen. I believe that God shows up when God wants to show up. I truly believe in faith. I am a faith person. However, and this is why I'm so glad I went to seminary again. And I bring that up because I don't know about you all, but seminary changed my life greatly. Because seminary was about, this is the data. This is why this is this, so on and so forth. We do not exclude faith, but we cannot exclude these words, these things, the etymology of this word, the historical data. And this is why I look at these churches with the side eye, because a lot of these pastors have gone to seminary, but they know how to control and manipulate people, so they won't tell people the truth. The pastors who really give their people truth, they're really well balanced. And then there are some pastors who don't know what they know, and it's just the blind leading the blind. But I found out that a lot of these churches are about control, about manipulation, and so on and so forth. And that's why I say data. Y'all can believe in tithes and offering if you want to. That's great. But the data in the scripture shows me that I'm not a Jew. I don't live in Israel. And even the Jews today don't tithe. Why? Because there's no more temple system. When the veil was rent in two, that stopped. That stopped. But again, that's me. That's me. And I'm not anti-Christian. I am pro-data. I believe in faith. So now, if somebody get healed and they were supposed to die, God did it. But I'm still about my data. And I think people have a problem with that. And I just, and so I could have been, if I would have taken the Myers-Briggs in my fundamental religious days, I think I would have been a different person. But you evolve. You do evolve. I will say that you do evolve. That's why you have the phase of emotional intelligence being currently overused around here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you do evolve. And let me say this now. I understand why churches don't want people to go to seminary, because they learn. They question. They don't take stuff by face value. What do you mean? How do we know this? What was your method of coming up with this? The Spirit told me. So if the Spirit told you, nobody can argue against that, because now the Spirit told you. And if we go against you, then we're going against the Spirit. That's a manipulation tactic because you're human and your emotions and you get involved. This is why I don't look at pastors like gods. I look at pastors as people who God has used, who can really help people. But those pastors are the same as you. They got issues just like you. They have issues or even more. Or even more. So they don't get a pass. But we have put these people on such high regards and pedestals and so on and so forth. This is why pastors' children have a lot of emotional issues because people put them on pedestals like they're not supposed to do X, Y, Z, and then they wind up being scrutinized, and then they get wild as hell when they get out their mama's and daddy's house, or even while they're in the house. But pastors' kids should have experiences just like everybody else. Why do you think Zachary Timms overdosed? Because Zachary Timms didn't have anybody to talk to, probably. And people are looking at him. He way in New York, but that's where he could be his true self, overdosed and died. Had he had a chaplain or a therapist, he may have been helped. We don't know. And so, again, you all, knowledge is power. And I am not anti-church. I am anti-cult. I am anti-entrapment. When you're trying to entrap people and not empower folk, and if you don't dress like me, then you ain't saved, and all of this foolishness. And I've seen it. And I don't have, and you know what? It ain't even church hurt. Because when you really look at the bigger picture, it's control. And I'm not going to, people can't give you what they don't have. People can't give you what they don't have. And there's an expectation that, and I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty. Listen to me. I am guilty of this. There's expectation that you think these people are going to do X, Y, Z, but they cannot give you what they don't have. If it wasn't instilled in them, if they don't develop that, then they won't. Yeah, people can't give you what they don't have. We expect these men to do this, and the third, and they ain't never had it. And I come to realize that people can't give you what they don't have. Okay? If it ain't in the bank, you can't take it out. If you ain't put it in the bank account, you can't withdraw it. and I'm and that's the real, y'all. That's the real. That's the real. I like the Enneagram better than Myers-Briggs. I think. But let me say this: the Enneagram and the Myers-Briggs, and this is why I know that these are helpful tools, because the Myers-Briggs was spot on, just like the Enneagram. And if I would transfer my Enneagram to the Myers-Briggs, it would be the same thing. It would be the same thing. I know I have faults and shortcomings, and you have to be self-aware. And a lot of people are not self-aware. And Jahari's mirror will tell you that. You have the known, what you know about you, what people know about you, what people don't know about you, and things you don't know about yourself. And if you don't have self-awareness, or people, you won't know. Let me say this. Brian maybe knew that he had problems with the sleep, but it might have been a blind spot for him. And because it was exposed on a public platform, that was a blind spot. But one thing I'm going to give Brian credit for is Brian has self-awareness now. Even though he didn't see the video, people were saying, hey, you stop breathing in your sleep. Now Brian is self-aware. Now, Brian is going to do something about it. that's the growth in it. So I can appreciate that. No, I mean, we really got to understand that, and I think a lot of these people on YouTube, including myself, are just self-studies, just self-studies. We have people who are very insecure, try to control other people, try to manipulate other people because they feel a certain kind of way. We have abandonment issues. We have a lot of stuff. Let me tell y'all something. I am a person who, and I told you all this before. When I was maybe 7 years old, I was in a choir rehearsal and somebody took over my choir rehearsal. And it upset me so bad that this person took over my whole choir rehearsal. I cried. And I told myself again, I will not cry anymore. Baby, I don't run choir. People don't. So again, that's my thing because that came through that situation. And I know I'm a 9 on that Enneagram. And I know I can be a bull in the china shop. I sure can. And I know that. I know that. What's up, Rodney? So, again, self-awareness. Some of these people are not even self-aware. And I'm just being real. And emotional intelligence is really looking at you and where you are. And then being able to step back and look at the situation. And that's real. Yep. But yeah, I'm being real on this. I want you all to start looking at these content creators in the lens of emotional intelligence, in the lens of what's really going on here. What are these people really saying? Rodney has a home. You notice that I don't talk about, oh, she got a degree, she thinks she's better, or he got a home, or he thinks he's better. No, I celebrate people, especially if you're a black man or black woman or black family, and you are not renting, but you own your place, or you're getting in the process that you have equity. That stuff don't get me. I'm not moved by stuff and cars and all of that stuff. Because you don't know. I know somebody who got a Maserati. I ain't jealous, but I know you got to get a big old car payment. And let's get into these car payments. Baby, why are people paying $1,000 a month for a car, which is almost like rent and mortgage? Girl, if you pay over $700, this is why I'm keeping all my cars. This is why I keep my cars in tip-top shape. Because baby, when you paying $1,000 a month for a car, oof, yeah. And I mean, yeah. I see why people said you better buy a car before this tariff thing starts, because now it's expensive. I'm being real about that, y'all. Oh my God. So yeah, you all, it's a lot of things going on, but trust me, you all, I'm not bothered by what other content creators may have to say about me. It really doesn't bother me when you know who you are, when you know what you got going on, when you know what you're doing. You don't get into that kind of stuff. I don't, I don't, I don't engage with Timothy Blaine because I'm afraid of Timothy Blaine or cannot roast him. I just don't have the energy to do it anymore. It's the same old thing. And my thing is what he says is not going to impact anything over here. It's not. And when you look at it, you rarely see a video of me talking about him because it's really not that important to me. But like Thais said, when people have 300 to 500 videos with your name in it, it's not the person who has the problem. It's the person, and it has to be something within that person to do that. And I don't store enough bitterness or hate in my heart to do that for anyone. It's not worth it. It's not really worth it. It's not. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. People are really paying a lot of money for these cars, and y'all don't understand that cars depreciate. As soon as you take that car off the lot, it has depreciated. You know, and that's why I'm gonna keep my Lincoln as long as she riding, baby. It could be 2050. If this Lincoln is still riding, we gonna ride this baby. We gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. I'm keeping my house because I don't believe I'm keeping that house. We gonna paint it. We gonna do some renovations to the bathroom. I'm already thinking about that, and to the kitchen. Those are the things. The rest of the house is great. That ain't changing. The biggest thing, far as market value, is your bathrooms and your kitchen. And so I'm gonna do a kitchen and a bathroom remodel, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because your kitchen and the bathrooms are the big things, but the rest of the house is fine. Yeah, like I wouldn't buy a house right now. Y'all, when I got my house, my interest rate was 2.7%. Okay, 2.7%. And I'm gonna tell y'all again, I was a first time home buyer, not because I couldn't buy a home, but I was a flight attendant. And so as a flight attendant, I wouldn't have been able to enjoy my home. You're always flying. So when I started working at Strayer, I'm like, okay, I can buy a house now. I can buy a house now. I'm stable. I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna stay in San Antonio. So let me start looking for a house. I said I'm gonna stay in this apartment for a year. I stayed in my apartment for exactly a year. My apartment, I believe, was around. It started at 1,500 a month, and then it went up to 1,700 a month. And I had a really big apartment. My apartment was about like 2,000 square feet. It was a big apartment. It was a big apartment. Um, and so I stayed there. And while I was in the apartment, I started looking for areas that I wanted to live in. I just started going to communities and getting a feel of the homes. And so when I started to look for a home, I had a real estate agent, and my first real estate agent was an older white man. I was not appreciating his vibe. For some reason, it was just off, and it was like, mm-mm. So I never forget you all. Now let me tell you. Let me tell you what this. Let me tell you how God works. So I was a dean. So I had a student, and she was military, and she always she was I shouldn't say she was a complainer, but she was very demanding, right? So I was telling her I was looking to buy a house, and she said, "Oh," she said, "I have a real estate," and she did nothing but praise this lady. And right then and there, something said to me, "You need to get her real estate agent, because if this woman, as demanding as she is, can praise this woman without reservation, that must be a good real estate agent." And baby, she gave me the name of her real estate agent. And God works, because me and the real estate agent are good friends to this day. The real estate agent actually threw my housewarming and birthday party at the same time. My real estate agent. I have referred people to my real estate agent, and let me tell you how good she is. My real estate agent has come to my house 3 times to drop off a big load of money, because she said, "You referred these people and you gave me a referral fee." Baby, she didn't have to do that. So because of that lady, I got the best real estate agent ever. When I tell you she looked out for me, when I moved in my house, y'all, and and it ain't bragging, it's just I'm just letting you know how things work. I got my refrigerator, I got my stove, I got my microwave, I got my water system, the sprinkler system. I got all of that. I got all of that with the house. So when I moved in, I wouldn't buy no refrigerator. I wouldn't buy no stove. I wouldn't buy no microwave. It was already in the house. Okay? It was already in the house. I already knew what I wanted. And I never forget because we had a lot of offers. So when I did what I did, I had a credit union pre-approval and I had Wells Fargo pre-approval. And I was pre-approved for a whole lot of money. But again, I said to myself, if I get laid off, it's just me. Now it's not just me, but then it was just me. And so I said, so what could I afford if something happens? So I'm not taking all of this money. I'm taking this. And I got my interest at 2.7 as a first time home buyer. I did not want to start a home because I'm like, I ain't starting nothing. I wanted a home where if people come to visit, everybody had a room. I wanted a home where if I had to sell it, it was resellable. I wanted space, and I got what I wanted. My house that I'm living in now will probably be the biggest house that I ever live in because if I do something different, I'm still going to keep my house. I'll rent it out. I'll do whatever I have to do. I will downsize. But again, I'm saying this because it's no big whoop. I mean, you know, when they told me not to buy stuff on credit, I didn't buy nothing on credit. My housing situation was so simple. I kid you not. My house was built in 3 months. 3 months. I was at the site every day. I was there when they cleared the ground. I was there when they laid the foundation. I was there when they was doing the framing. I was there for the whole thing. I had to leave to go out of town. I had friends to stop by and take pictures. It can be done. But I had to educate myself really quickly. I got a fixed rate. Now, the reason why when you refinance a home, it goes back. I refinanced because I wanted a cheaper interest rate. And that's exactly what I got. So when I lived in that apartment, and let me say this, there is an advantage to living in expensive apartments. Let me tell you the advantage. I did not have to do um, a shock. They call it a shock something. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. But if you lived in an apartment that was 650, but your mortgage is going to be 1,700, then you got to save that much money up. I didn't have to do that because my rent was very comparable to what my mortgage was going to be. So if you live in an apartment that's kind of pricey, that helps you when you're going to get a house. Because I didn't have to do the shock value or whatever. I didn't have to do that. And I got my home. It wasn't hard at all. I followed directions. It is what it is. I'm reading what y'all have to say. I'm reading y'all comments. Now, I want my Social Security. That is not, let me tell y'all something. Social Security is not an entitlement. They take that money out your check every month. Every month. So I'm so excited because this pay period, because you know it's 3 pay periods in August, Jesus. Hallelujah. But this pay period, they don't take out stuff for our medical and all of that stuff. Let me tell y'all something. And don't skip out on your medical. Do not skip out on your medical. I pay for my medical. I have the top insurance plan that we offer. I don't have cancer, but Lord knows if I get it, it's covered. I have Aflac because if something happens, I need some cash. Y'all don't skimp out on your medical. Don't skimp out on your medical. You never know. And when you get to be my age, you better take your medical. I have long-term and short-term insurance. Baby, keep your stuff. But you never know what's going to happen to you in your medical. Keep your medical. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, y'all, I'm not being, and again, it's not because you think you better, but you have options. And you want to have options. I don't want to live in the world where I don't have options. I don't want nobody dictating everything I got to do. You know? So that's all I'm saying to you all. And it's not bragging. People like, well, I don't know why you talking about King Rome and that man come after you. Okay, so what? I don't know that man personally. But, you know, I can't cap that man's education down. I can't cap that man's stuff down. Nah, just because people do that to me, that don't mean I got to retaliate back. I know what I have. I know what I have, and what I have was good for me. Let me tell y'all something. If your school is regionally accredited, baby, that's good. Because when they hire, they just want to know is your school regionally accredited. That's it. University of the People, regionally accredited. I recommend University of the People because you don't pay tuition, you just pay fees. You can get a bachelor's degree for about $5,000, $6,000. And that's real. I have told many people to go to University of the People or Salar.org. All of those are nonprofits to help people get their education. But people sleep on it. People sleep on it. So all I'm saying to you all is it's not a brag. You know what? I'm happy that I have a home. I'm happy that I had the options to get that home. I didn't have to sneak and beg and borrow, and I did exactly what I needed to do. And even when the times got tough and rough, I took my behind right on to work. You don't ever have no job, baby. That's all I've been doing is working. I don't know what y'all talking about. But again, I let people talk because that is what they want. I know what's really going on. But it is what it is. Y'all can't care what people think about you. What do you think about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? I'm not perfect. Oh, Lord knows I'm not trying to tell people I'm perfect. But I'm quite content with who I am. And I'm self-aware of those blind spots that need to improve. This is why, I don't let people get to me. You can't. You can't. Dark Empress, that's why I can't do food stamps. That's why I can't do, because again, you all, I don't want people to tell me that I can't have no chips and I can't have no soda and I can't have this because it's their money. And when it's their money, they can dictate on what you get. When you get a Section 8 voucher, they dictate where you can live. And I don't want that. It's a thing of freedom for me. And just because you're getting something, that doesn't mean you have your freedom. And that's the big thing. It's called freedom. If I decide I want to get another job, I got freedom in the credentials and the experience to go back. I mean, I ain't gonna cap. Um, the airlines have called me back a couple of times, asking me, do I want to go? I don't want to go. I know. Lord knows it's tempting to be able to get free air travel and all of that, but I don't want it. I don't want it because again, when I was younger, that was awesome. I mean, I would be in Milan, I would be in Edinburgh, Scotland. I would be in Bogota, Colombia. Oh, I used to love going to Mexico City, especially during Christmas. They had the Three Kings, and you could, I mean, the peso to the dollar, baby. I mean, love going to Trinidad and Tobago. I have been. You all, let me say this. But the flip side is the relationship situation is hard. It's difficult. You don't have a set schedule. You will be working Christmas until you get senior. And I got tired of living out of a suitcase. Now, there are some people who have done it for 26 years. It's not a hard job, but my thing is I felt that when I finished my terminal degree, I wanted to teach, I wanted to do some things. And guess what? I have not been disappointed in what I've done. I have experiences, and experience really counts. Experience really counts. Follow your dreams. All of my family live in Florida. I don't care. When I moved to San Antonio, I ain't know nobody. Don't have to know nobody. When I moved to Chicago, I had a cousin. Ain't nobody. I ain't know nobody in New York. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. I can move to Alaska. I'm gonna make it. You hear me? I don't need. See again. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. But I'm not scared to take on new challenges. I'm not. And I'm telling you all, you shouldn't be either. You will never know unless you try. If you don't, and a lot of people on these YouTube streets are afraid to try. They have been told that you ain't gonna never make it. They done been told that somebody tried this and they didn't make it, so you ain't gonna make it. And this is why people get on them programs and stuff. And yeah, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Now, the only reason why, like I said, I'm here now. The love of my life is here now. We both have good lives, and I'm proud of him. What he does is phenomenal. He is at the top of his game. He is the person that people go to, and I'm very proud of him. He has encouraged me. We have encouraged each other. It is what it is. I don't have body image situations. Baby, I was buff with big old arms. The arms are still big. They got to get toned up. But I don't get to that. People talking about you trying to look young. No, I'm trying to look like Jay. I'm trying to look like Jay. Baby, let me tell you something. When you get old, you won't get old. I am just glad that I'm aging the way I'm aging because I am at the beginning of senior citizenship. I mean, I'm at the forefront of senior citizen. I'm 55. I still feel good. I can still walk and run and play racquetball. I can see. I don't have maladies. I ain't in the hospital. I can tell you how many times I've been in the hospital. I've been in the hospital for an appendix to burst, and that's it. I've only been in the hospital for appendix bursting, and that was way in 2000. Not because I'm so great, but I have not been. So when people talk about something, you trying to stay young. Oh, I am young. Young at heart, young in mind. That's why I can sit here on these YouTube streets and look at y'all youngins and laugh because again, y'all playing the game. But yeah, and I'm not trying to do anything but be who I am. because I shaved my face. I'm trying to look young. No, I wanted to see how I was gonna look, and I'm like, okay, I see now. I'm growing my mustache back. I got to grow it back before homecoming come up. But anyway, yeah. Now, do I take care of myself? Yes. I brush my teeth. I floss. Hello, somebody. I floss. I use a water pick. I have an exfoliant for my face. I put on moisturizer. I drink a lot of water. And because that's about preservation. That's about longevity. I don't have nothing to do with trying to look young. Everybody gonna get old. And that's what y'all don't say. You young right now, but how you gonna look when you get old? How you gonna look when you get old? Because baby, some of y'all are looking my age right now, and y'all in y'all 20s and 30s. So how you gonna look when you get old? That's the real question. I know I'm old. Yes, I do come on camera. Titties and all. The girls say I got titties. I don't have no titties. But if you think I have them, but yeah. Well, let me say this. When I can get discounted stuff at senior citizen rate, when I go to Dennis and get the 55 and over, I'm at the beginning of senior citizens. Baby, when you get them little perks like that, I feel you are at the beginning of senior citizens when you can join AARP. Even though you can do it at 50, you are officially a senior with AARP at 55. That's all. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. So my thing is, you know, y'all can talk about old folk, but I want to see how y'all gonna age. A lot of y'all are not gonna age really well because that look is gonna tear y'all up. A lot of y'all ain't gonna age well because you don't take care of yourselves. Honey, I done seen too many broke up mouths and stuff, and I know y'all ain't gonna age well because y'all don't take care of y'all oral health. Baby, just that oral health alone is telling me some of y'all ain't in good places. I'm just being right, I ain't being shady, but baby, that oral care, baby, I'm 55 and got all of my teeth, no partials, no implants. Now I don't know what the end gonna be. I might need it later down on the line. Come on now. I may need it later down at the end of the line. But right now, baby, I can eat some hard candy, which I don't. I can eat some chicken and don't have to worry about nothing falling out my mouth. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay. And for all my Gen Xers and baby boomers out there, do your thing. Do your thing. Baby, they ain't taking care of themselves like they're lovely. They ain't. They ain't. And some of them who our age, who look older, let me tell y'all something. I ain't trying to be shady. I'm not calling no names. My God, today. I'm not calling no names. I ain't trying to put people out. But baby, it's some people who my age, and I'm like, you lying to me. I thought they were 65. Baby, it's some people who are our age, and baby, when I tell you they looking like grandmama, mm-mm, mm-mm. No sir, Bobby Jr. Some of y'all girls is looking real old. I'm like, how old is what? You lying to me? You mean they only 2 years older than me and looking like my grandmama? Mm-mm. Honey, don't you do it, little girl. So yeah, it's a lot of people who ain't doing too hot. But let me tell you something. To God be the glory for the things He has done. That's all I can say. I ain't calling no names. Now, if somebody come up here talking, then that means it's you. That's all I'm gonna say. A hurt dog will holler, baby. You sure will. Well, look, y'all, I'm getting ready to head on out. Come on, 57. Mm-hmm. No, you can, but I'm talking about people who are official. Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about official people. You can join AARP at 50. You can join at any time. Mm-mm-mm. Well, look, y'all, it's been real. I enjoyed this talk. Know who you are. Know your blind spots. You know who you are. I look at Maslow's hierarchy, and some people never get to basic needs. They never get to self-actualization. And y'all get to the top two pinnacles. Don't stop at the nice car in the house. Keep on growing. Keep on striving. You know, and that's it. And let me say this: when you know who you are, these people don't bother you. Like somebody said, "Ooh, Ness said this about you, girl." I don't care what that girl say. Girl, I don't care what that girl say. I'm living a great life. I'm having a good time. And I look at her, and let me say this about her. That's a person who is intelligent, but some reason or somewhere down the line, somebody told her that she can't. Or somebody has really hurt her to the point where there's a lack of confidence. Um, Ness is smart, but it's called self-fulfilled prophecy. And I think she talks herself out of stuff. I think insecurity hurts her. And I believe that she could be much farther than she is, but she is her own worst enemy. Ness could have a bachelor's degree right now. Ness would take classes in ACE classes. I kind of, and I don't know Ness, but she could take a class and pass that class. But it's just something. And what really got me about her is when she got a job that she got where you had to have a degree, but she got it. And then she started talking about how other people had degrees and they would ask her. And then I felt like, well, get a degree. If they hired you and you don't have a degree, then they hired you because they like you. So now that you're in, do the things that's going to keep you there. And I heard that, and I'm like, but it's that self doubt. And see, this is why I can say, Jay, you always talking good about folks who say stuff about you, but because again, I'm not vindictive. I'm really not. It doesn't really matter to me. Some of these B sector people really have good traits, but a lot of this stuff is self-fulfilled prophecy, and they talk themselves out of things. You know, and then a lot of them try to do it the easy way out, not knowing that you still gonna pay the price. You know. Let me tell y'all something. I remember when Wolverine was very visible in the beef sector. Baby, when I tell you they hated Wolverine, ooh, they hated Wolverine. Wolverine had no problem showing his achievements and his wealth. And I like Wolverine. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Do the darn thing. Then people start trying to dox him. Then people start saying this and the third. And I just realized right then and there, I'm like, these people are absolutely jealous. They are envious of people who do well. And they make them feel some kind of way. And instead of them inspiring to do better, they start attacking. And let me say this, you all. I know 4 people personally that have come over here and they said, because you said this, I did it, and my life has been better. And I'm not changing that. I'm not going to stop talking about the importance of education because it's important. I'm not going to stop talking about political things because it's important. I'm not going to stop talking about self-esteem and knowing who you are because it's important. Because in this V sector, it's not a whole lot of that. Now, can I be shady? Yeah, I sure can. Yeah, yep, I can. That's my character. That's the character I play. But in reality, I don't want anybody to be homeless. I don't want anybody to die. That's why you don't hear me wishing death on people and all that. We don't do that. And I want people to be happy at the most part. And let me say this. Anybody can come over here. And if they need something and if I have it, I'm going to help them. If I don't, I'm going to find somebody who can help them. Because at the end of the day, we are 1099s. I don't hate nobody. I'm not built that way. I may not like what people do, but maybe people are people. So that's how I feel. And that's the real deal with that. I ain't calling nobody job because at the end of the, and let me say this, y'all, I had 2 times where I could call somebody's job. I told them, people, please don't send me this person's information. I don't want this. I don't operate like that. It is nothing that these people have said that warrants me to call a job and get them fired. That's stupid. That's weak. That shows me that I am weak. Weak people resort to those types of things. I am not a weak person. It doesn't get to me that I'm going to do something like that. Again, somebody sent me information about Tim. I said, please don't send me this. I don't operate like that. I don't operate now. Will I be messy? Yes, but I'm not. I'm not trying to take somebody's livelihood away. I'm not trying to take anybody's livelihood away. Are you crazy? And all I'm going to say to you all is, what you do to other people, be prepared for it yourself. It's not a if, it's a when. It's a win. But if you put it on YouTube, I am going to talk about it. I don't get upset when people talk about me. They do it on a daily basis. I can take it. But when I say something about you, we want to go docs. I just think it's funny to me, but it's the weakness of it all. It's the weakness of it all that gets me. So anyway, don't hate nobody. Um, how can you talk about King Roman? Is he the only one who went to college? No, there's a lot of people. El Tanny, Olivia the Oracle, the Miss O. There's a lot of people who have. But like I said, I'm not at war with those people and I don't fight with those people. I can just tell you all, I don't even have to care what you or your content is about. I'm still gonna give you your props. I just don't care. I give Brian Arity his props as well. For some reason, I think Binary was a good pastor. For some reason, I think Binary was a good pastor. Now, y'all don't believe that, but I think Binary probably was a really good pastor. And sometimes you see some things, and this is why I guess I click a little bit Binary, because when you deal with church people, that's another lesson in itself. And I think when you can deal with those people who justify their wrongness by scripture, it prepares you for the other stuff. So, yeah. So anyway, y'all may not think he was a pastor or clergy, but my thing is, baby, people in the clergy got issues just like everybody else. And I believe that this stuff that y'all talking about, he ain't no pastor, baby. If I would look at some of y'all pastors, not all, but if I was looking at some of y'all pastors, baby, it's a mess. Dawson Speaks shows us on a weekly basis that these pastors are men with flaws, men who like men, some of them, men who are predators, men who are thieves, and I'm talking about thieves. Dawson Speaks. It ain't no joke. And so my thing is, these people don't worry me. You ain't no real pastor. No, I'm not. I don't have a congregation. I am clergy. I'm clergy. I'm certified to deal with critical management incidents. I am qualified to go and talk to people and have them to reach where they are spiritually. Because I am part of the chaplaincy of that clergy piece. So I am not a pastor. I'm not an evangelist. I am a chaplain. I'm a chaplain. I got my, thank you, Jesus, education from a accredited clinical pastoral education area. And I'm good with it. You don't have to believe it, but the paper proves it. And that's all I need right there. See, you can think whatever you want to. I don't even know if them degrees is real. They're real, including the transcripts. I don't say anything that I can't produce. If I can't produce it, I ain't gonna talk about it. I'm sorry. I'm not that type of person. So, look, y'all gotta go. Peace and love. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good day. Bye.